Hello, welcome. This is Table Talk with Rita, Felleh, Arah. Today we're going to be talking about Delta State politics. What do I mean by talking about Delta State politics? So please tag someone, anyone from Nigeria and from Delta State. Today we're going to be talking about politics in Delta State. Today here with me, I have my co-host, Chief Christian Hara, that is here with me today. Chief Christian Hara, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Chief Christian Arah. I'm from Delta State, a businessman in California, and I'm a co-host with Rita Felleh.
Thank you, Chief Christian. So, are you excited to be here today?
Wow, yeah, I'm excited to be here today.
So, we're talking in politics today.
We're talking politics in Delta State today.
Yes, thank you. So, today I have my amazing and lovely Delta State. We are all here today to talk about Delta State politics. Today, I have with me Sarah Fiel. I will have Sarah Fiel to introduce himself. Sarah Fiel. Sarah Fiel, we can hear you. You have to unmute yourself, sir. Sarah Fiel?
Can you hear me now?
Sarah Fiel? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go ahead, sir. You can go ahead.
My name is Raphael Afemare. I'm from Delta State, precisely Isoko North local government. I have been a supervisory councillor in the local government council. Other than that, I've been in politics since 1979. From the days of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, that is Ambrose Ali, as governor of Bendel State, to when it was created. As I speak with you, I'm SSA to the governor on political matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah Fiel. Thank you so much. I'm happy to have you here with me today. 1979. Wow, that's when I was born. So thank you for having you here today, Sarah. Welcome. So I have with me my triple chief, Mr. Manager. I would love for him to introduce himself today.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Chief Patrick Irakposhike Onajove, aka Manager. I'm a politician and I'm also an oil marketer with Ipman, Independent Petroleum Marketer, to be precise, Warri WROPC. I've been a politician since 1999, and I've been a member of the People's Democratic Party. I've not deviated, I've not crossed carpet, I've remained in this place. Good evening, my co-moderators.
Thank you. Wow. That was a lovely introduction. And I'm blown away. I'm like sitting down here, I'm listening to you and Sarah Fiel. He mentioned that 1979, that's when I was born. So, hey, that's when he started politics. So you've been in politics for 44 years now, almost 44 years. So I'm glad to have each and every one of you here today. So I'll go to Mr. George, Sir George. So I would love for you to introduce yourself, please. Sir George?
Yes. My name is
okay, you can go ahead.
George Irawari. I am a sociologist. I'm fresh in politics, active politics though. But currently, I supervise for Nestle Nigeria PLC. And I'm also the director of publicity for Hope Oborivori and Friends Support Group. It's a pressure group working for the actualization of the ambition of Oborivori / Oyeme to become the governor of Delta State come May 29th this year. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sir George, for having you here. For those of you that have joining us now that are watching us. My name is Rita Felleh, CEO and founders of Daughters of Sierra Leone. I've worked on major political campaign. I've worked for Arizona governor, Senate. I've worked for Democrats. We're all about Democrats. And I've worked for the rerun for Raphael Warnoff. I was there as well. So I have idea and I know how politics is being played and how it's being run. So, Sarah Fiel, I will go back to you and talk about politics in Delta State because Africa is just the same from Sierra Leone. I'm a Sierra Leonean. I've been naturalized in US for over 20 years. So, seeing politics in Delta State and getting to see what we are going through right now. The elections were supposed to be this Saturday, which is today, and it's been postponed. So, Sarafiel, I would love for you to go and talk about it more. Let's just talk about why was the election being postponed. Um, we wanted to know a little bit more, sir.
Okay. The election we're supposed to have participated in today was shifted to next week, Saturday, for obvious reasons. You know, the presidential election, the controversies that have surrounded it was an issue. And so some of these candidates, for instance, the candidate of PDP and the candidate of LP, felt that the process, the INEC itself did not follow their own rules. And for that, they went to court. Now, in court, they were asking for inspection of those materials. But again, INEC came up with this reason that, oh, well, they need to reconfigure those beavers before they can conduct the governorship election and state houses of assembly. I think those were the major reasons why they had to shift this election. And the court granted their prayers last week, that, well, they should allow them to configure the beavers before the governorship election can hold. I think that was what precipitated their shifting this election from today, the 11th, to 18th of March. So that is the background to the postponement of the elections not holding today. Rita?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for it. Because why I asked that question first is a lot of people, like me myself, I'm like, okay, the elections were set to be this Saturday, and then it was postponed to next week. So I'm thinking in my mind, like, what's happening? Why? And I believe there are some people that are watching too as well. They're thinking the same thing. So that I just wanted for us to talk about it, why it was postponed. It's not postponed because of this, but it was postponed because of that. You know, Africans, we like explanation. So that was why I asked that question, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I will hand it over to my co-host, Chief Christian, to ask some questions that we wanted to talk today. Chief Christian.
Good morning, good evening, all. My name is Chief Christian Arah. I'm from Delta State, Isoko North to be precise. My first question to you all: what are the identified problems that the people of Delta State should expect Right Honorable Sheriff Administrator to solve if elected as the Executive Governor of Delta State? So, sir, I want you to please explain to us what your principal will do if elected as Governor of Delta State.
Let me speak on a very broad basis. The truth is that there are a lot of challenges that the incoming governor, Sheriff, will face. But for me, to get the ground running, what I expect of him is, one, he should, as a matter of urgency, take a look at the IPP, the Independent Power Projects. You understand? Now, it's a big challenge in the sense that if these youths are not engaged, if there is no power, these youths cannot be properly engaged. You know what it means, because the high cost of diesel running your factory now is very, very expensive, so that even if you buy these diesels, you use virtually even your profit in running your business. But if you have power, energy, I think it will go a long way to resolve some of the problem that is going to face. That is number one. Number two, one of the challenges is going to face again is agriculture. You know that Delta State is an agrarian state, right? Other than oil. So we need to go back to agriculture. When we say agriculture, mechanized agriculture, such that when these youths are engaged in mechanized farming, the state will be generating money from income tax. That will give a soft landing to His Excellency the Governor. So for the challenges that is going to meet, they are going to be enormous, because as we speak now, I don't think we have enough money in the state. But if we take our time, if it's prudent enough and take some of these steps that I'm telling you now, I think in no distant time, the place will be very comfortable with this state. For now, that is my contribution. Rita?
Thank you very much, Sir Raphael Afemari. So how is he going to tackle it? What kind of people is he going to bring to the table to tackle the issue? That is the question. What kind of people is he going to bring to tackle? Is he going to bring technocrats to tackle the issue? Because you talked about agriculture, you talked about power. So what kind of people is he going to bring? Is it technocrats? Is he going to bring to the table? Can you please throw more light on that, sir?
Yeah. Yes. Hello?
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Like
just a minute.
I said.
Mm-hmm. We can hear you. I'm going to go back and do introduction. Hold on, please. Hello, welcome. This is Table Talk with Rita, Felleh, Harasian, founders of Daughters of Sierra Leone. I just want to welcome you. Tag someone. Let's share this live. Let more people of Delta State, because today we focus on Delta State. We want to talk about how our politics in Delta State have been run, what our expectation, what do we need? We have a governor election coming up. So we want to talk about all those things. So please share this live, add someone from Nigeria, from Delta State, so we can be able to touch as much people that we can able to reach. So welcome, SA, welcome.
Good evening.
SA, can you hear me?
Good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me too?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. As everyone have introduced themselves, so if you can go right fast and introduce yourself, so we can go right back to the program.
My name's Esther Ayubene, a Deltan daughter from Delta State. I work with Daughters of Sierra Leone as a project manager, and I'm so happy to be part of the show talking about development in my own state.
Okay. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here today. So we have manager. If you're here, chief manager. Are you here? Okay, let me have Chief George. Let me add you in.
Yes, I'm here.
George? Okay. Chief Judge, so we are all here today for one cause, and we are talking about we have a candidate, Chief Sheriff Obowuri. So that's our focus. So I just wanted us to focus on that side, and I've not meet this person in person before, but I believe in his vision, and I believe I'm from Sierra Leone. I've mentioned that before, but I'm a Nigerian by marriage, and I'm I naturalized in the US. So I tell myself every day, if we can have people like Right Honorable Sharif that comes forward and say, this is what I want to do for people. And I've never been in politics, but because of this particular individual, I'm like, oh wow, because I support his vision, and I know what he can do. So let's just draw that thing right. We are here to talk about Right Honorable Sharif and what he's going to do and what he's going to do, because he's a man of his words. So I will ask you, Judge.
Yes, thank you so much. First and foremost, we
Yeah.
know a man cannot give what he does not have. You can only give what you have. So that will take me to the features of Sheriff as a person, then his characteristics. The wife of Barack Obama once said that power does not change a man. Rather, power reveals a man. Sheriff, as we know, is a grassroots fellow. We know that one of the problems that we face in Delta State today is that of security and peace. He has told us that he's going to ensure peace and security. And how is he going to achieve that? I'm saying what he has told us, that what he's going to do for us, and he has the capacity, the natural ability to do it. So those are the things I want to bring to the fore this evening. So I'm not talking about what my expectations from him. I want to outline what he has told us that he will do and how he'll be able to achieve them based on his real characteristics. So, as a grassroots fellow, Sheriff understands the workings of the communities. He knows where the problems lie and with whom they lie. He has been with his people. He never lived outside Warri, let alone Nigeria. His family are based here. He and his family are here in Warri, Delta State. His wife is here. All his children are here in Delta State. Except those who have really caused to school somewhere else. But then, at the end of the day, they all come back to Warri. And as we all know, yes. Can I continue?
Oh, go ahead. I was listening to you.
Okay. So Sheriff understands the workings of the communities in Warri. So to ensure that peace and security, he's going to engage the youth. He's going to restructure the way our communities are governed. I mean, the communities within Warri and Delta State in general, how these communities are governed. He's going to ensure that the elders, the leaders in every community in Delta State do what is right, and they carry the youth along, because Sheriff is a link between the elders and the youth. So you'll be able to close that gap with the early lacuna between the youth and the elders that have always caused problems in Delta State. He's going to close it, and there will be peace and security. Secondly, we all know that Sheriff is a catalyzer for development. Wherever he is, he attracts good things. For instance, when he was a community chairman, he was able to put his hometown, Osubi, which was relatively unknown on the map of West Africa. As the community chairman, he superintended the construction of the airport, which everybody now enjoy today. And this thing happened when this agitation in the Niger Delta area was at its peak. But he was able to carry all the youth along to ensure that that program, that project, the construction of the airport was not disrupted. So
wow.
similarly, he knows what
George,
to
just
do.
a minute, George.
Yes.
We'll come back to projects
Yes.
and how he's going to handle stuff. What actually caught my mind is we talked about his family, they're in Delta, because a lot of times what we hear as politicians, I'm from Sierra Leone, and a lot of times all of our politicians, their family, we are not home, you know. And for this
Yes.
man
Yes.
to be able to bring himself in the layman level, like Okada
Yes.
riders, you know, anybody, market people. This man is just like down to earth. So it's
Exactly.
accessible. So for people that are going to vote and you telling yourself, I want change, I want this, we all want change, but it's to work with who you know that is easy accessible, that is someone that you can call, and that person is nobody but Right Honorable Sherry. So I'm going to come right back. We're going to add some more of our guests so we can talk into it more. And I know Esther, your mouth is itchy, you wants to talk. So we're going to add some more people right now, and then we can come back to the conversation. While we do that, I'm going to do a quick introduction. So please, people, share this live, share this live. This is very important. And this is our future. This is our children's future. And this is very important. I know sometimes we say we are not politicians. We don't want to talk about politics, but sometimes we have to. Because if my kids go to Nigeria and they're in worry, I want them to be safe. I want them to be feel like this is home. So, Mr. Manager? Essay? Essay. You want to throw light
Yes,
on
ma'am.
what we're just talking about?
Okay, from our principal, we are eager, we are expectant, we are excited to have him win next week Saturday, because we know he has a lot of plans for Deltans. One of it is his manifesto that he crowned and named more meaningful development opportunity for all Deltans. I repeat, all Deltans, realistic reform and enhanced peace. When I say all Deltans, we've seen governors come and go that is focused only on where they are from. But I assure you that our principal is not just concerned about his his own locality. He's talking about all Deltans. So his manifesto clearly states meaningful development opportunity for all Deltans, realistic reforms that will bring about enhanced peace. So he's thinking about his people. He's thinking about how Delta will be a place where those of us that have left Delta State to Lagos, we want to go back home. He has shown in his years of being the longest serving speaker, as he has affected lives, job opportunities, and sponsorship and scholarship sponsorship. During the COVID-19, he gave out food, clothes. He affected people. He has given out scholarship even to people that are not that did not really have hope. So we are assured that if he wins and when he wins, Deltans are ready for great things. He has promised to affect the education system, energy, healthcare system, physical infrastructure, talking about good roads, transportation, housing. See, he has thought about every single thing that we lack in Delta State. And I can assure you that if our principal, vote for our principal, Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, when he comes in, we will see the effect of having someone that has the mind of the people, someone that is accessible. We've talked about the fact that he stays with his people. He's not thinking about, oh, I want to. He's a speaker. A lot of speakers don't stay in their state, but he stays there, so he knows how it is to be in Delta State. He knows the mind of people. He knows the issues around, and he has promised that there will be meaningful development. And I can assure you that he's a man of his word. He has shown over time. He's the longest service speaker, not because there's no one else, but because he has shown over time that he's a man of his word. He's a man that is ready for work, a man that is ready to make great things for Delta State. So we are eager, we are expectant. Come next week, Saturday, we want to vote for Right Honorable Sheriff Oborori. Thank you so much.
Thank you, SA. Thank you. That's a great contribution. And for me, that I'm married to a man from Delta State, and I'm thinking about it. I haven't been in Delta State for quite some times, and for all this development and for all the good things that Right Honorable Sheriff is bringing into Delta State. Look at our youth. Everybody is going to Lagos. Everybody wants to go to Abuja, but this man is bringing so much stuff into Delta State that I'm in the US. I want to come back to Delta State because I have all this. I have three boys, and I want to bring them to know where they are from, to grassroots. And so for me, I'm really excited when this man becomes governor. Like, why would we want to come overseas? Why would we want to go to Lagos? You know, our youths, for people that are finding greener pastures, they feel like the only way I can make it in life is by going to Lagos or by going to Abuja. You can make it in Delta State. You don't have to travel. You don't have to do much. I'll leave it to my co-host, Chief Christian Arah.
Thank you very much, Essie. You talked about energy, and I know your principal is manifesto is talking about energy, how to improve the energy in Delta State. And I know he has contacted some foreign investors in Czech Republic, and he has contacted some foreign investors in Poland. I know about that. Those are the people who are coming to Delta State to improve on our electricity. I know he has talked about that. He has contacted them. I'm aware of that, but I don't want to talk much about that because he's supposed to be the one to tell Delta State about the improvement of the power sector. So when Right Honorable Sheriff, and no one will give him the opportunity to come to this platform, he's going to tell Delta State. But I'm telling you for sure what you said about the energy. Right Honorable Sheriff Oborori is going to improve energy in Delta State. And when there is energy in Delta State, there is power in Delta State, not only Delta State, Nigeria at large, but Delta State is our focus right now. We are narrowing this to Delta State. Once we get it right in Delta State, because Delta State is oil producing state, once we get it right in Delta State, people start coming to invest in Delta State. And when we can get the energy sector working in Delta State, when investors start coming, Warri will go back to normal oil city. That's what we are praying for. And Right Honorable Sheriff is has taken it upon himself. This is what they want to do. And I'm so amazed when he said he has approached Czech Republic, some companies in Czech Republic, and he has approached some companies in Poland as well. And those are the fastest growing economy in the world. And those companies, I know Delta State will see a great change when we elect Right Honorable Sheriff Oborori. So I want George to throw more light on what we just discussed.
George, we can't hear you. Hello, George. Hello, George, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So is it on the still on the area of the power sector? Hello, where do you want me to come in here? Rita, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I was still talking about the features of Sheriff and his good plan for the people of Delta State. I said he has the ability, the natural ability to bring this change, the much needed change about in Delta State. The greatest advantage he has is that he is a worry man. And other than being a grassroots fellow, mingling with the high and the low, his himself is based here, his wife is here, his students are here in Delta State, in Nigeria. And as I also mentioned that he's a catalyzer for development. So when we talk of IPP, the
Thank you
way
very
of
much.
our social.
Thank you very much, Judge. Thank you very much, Judge. I will get back to you again. Let Raphael, Sir Raphael, can you hear me? Unmute yourself, Sir Raphael. What is the most important agenda plan for the youth if elected governor? Right, Honorable Sheriff. Unmute him, Alice. I can't hear him.
You can unmute him. If he has control, then
Sir Raphael, we can hear you. Sir Raphael, you have to unmute yourself, sir. Sir Raphael. I can hear you now. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. My take is that as soon as Sheriff Oboro wins this election by next week, all the moribund in the companies that are owned by Delta State government, he should look at how to reactivate them. Take for instance the Sapler AT&P. If reactivated, that can generate a lot of employment for our youths. Other than that, look at the Bender City structure, just wasting away. Look at the glass factory, just wasting. If the governor can reactivate these moribund industries, I can assure you that the level of youth unemployment will be drastically reduced. Rita?
Thank you very much, sir. If we're not speaking, for us to mute ourselves because we're getting bad signals, and if you're asked to speak, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and speak. Then when you're done, you can unmute yourself back again, because we're getting bad signals and we're not able to hear you clearly. So now I will hand the mic over to Essay. We've talked about you in Lagos for you to go find greener pastures and for you to be able to feed family and all that stuff. So being in Lagos is not easy, but because of Delta, we don't have a lot of things that can keep youth going, engage the youth, and right honorable Sharif, it's going to do that. I know he believe in doing a lot of things, and I strongly believe that this man is going to bring a lot of development into Delta State. And why do I say so? Because I know he can do it. This man is the person that he sits with anybody. He can go to the marketplace and interact and see what business people needs. It can go to Okada riders, day-to-day people. I can name it, and I can still go on and on and on. So, Esther, I just want you to throw light on it, please.
Okay. For me now, I believe strongly in the vision. I believe in the vision that Right Honorable Sheriff has. He has said it. He has said it over and over again that he sees Delta becoming a state to reckon with in Nigeria and in the world at large. He understands the issue. Now, he said, I quote something he said. He said one of the things he has seen developed in in states and the issues that is always arising in most states is the growing population, and I'm quoting Honorable Sheriff here. He said he has seen growing population and shrinking. So he knows the issues. He's not just somebody that is just going about telling or quoting. He studied political science. He's a graduate. He understands this thing. And then he grew in politics. He started off as a chairman, grew into a councillor, now a speaker. He has grown over time, understands his people, understands the issues, and the fact that he lives with his people. See, I so love my state, but it's because of the issues of insecurity and issue of lack of jobs. I have a degree, and I would love to go back to Delta State to work. And I'm looking forward to the progress that we'll receive and when we vote him in as that Honorable Sheriff as the next governor of Delta State. He has talked about tackling the issues of cybercrime, youth unrest. So he's hitting the key areas, the issues that is hurting us, the issues that we see. I've lived. I was born in Delta State. I grew up in Delta State. I schooled in Delta State, secondary school, university, and all. And I know it is not, when we hear stories of things happening, it sounds incredulous. Like, is this, can a state really be this bad? So he has seen it, and he wants to stay because he stays. He wants to keep living there. He wants the place to be safe. Next, vote him in, and by next week Sunday, we'll be celebrating the victory of Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, because, like I said, he has declared that his manifesto is more meaningful development opportunity for all Deltas. I will repeat that word, all Deltans. So you can be assured wherever you're from, it's not just about where he's from. He's talking about all Deltas. He loves his people. If you listen to him when he talks, you know he has the heart for his people. He's not is wow, I can't just say it all, but I can't just wait for next week to have him as my governor. Thank.
Hello, Essay. Thank you. Great contribution. And listening to you talk and how passionate you about the whole thing and what this man is going to do. And if elected, so it's all depends on us Deltas for us to go out and vote. For it's better our own. His last name Oboruri says our own. It means our own, right? So it's better for us to put our own, right? That is easy, accessible. You can call him. It's not one of those politicians. For me, myself, I've never liked politicians, But what actually, I believe in this man's policy. And I believe that and I know it's a matter. So Sir Raphael, I will go back to you, sir, for you to throw more light. You've been in politics from 1979. So I want you to talk more on the things that Right Honorable Sheriff is going to do if elected as a president, as a governor of Delta State. Sir Raphael, can you unmute yourself, sir? Sir Raphael, unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What I'm saying, I said politics is a very, very sweet game if you understand how to play it. And that is the factors that are working towards the victory of Sheriff. You see, in Delta State here, we have 3 senatorial districts. Of the 3 senatorial districts, virtually all the districts, they have had their own share before it's now coming to the Urubos. Now, that is Delta Central. Now, Delta Central, other local governments have had a shot at the governorship, except Okpe, where Sheriff comes from. And so because of that, he has that good followership. Like I said, the man Sheriff is somebody who mingles with people. He's a grassroots man. He lives in Usubi, and so nobody need to introduce him to outsiders. So, and I know because of the kind of person he is, Sheriff cannot afford to disappoint Deltans. My only advice, because once you get to power, once they get to power, those who are surrounding them, if they surround themselves with people who are not able to give genuine advice, that is when their popularity will begin to reduce. I give you a simple example of Chief Ibori. Chief Ibori is from Ethiopia, is from Delta Central, of course, who had governed this state. I'm telling you, till tomorrow, nobody has been able to upstage what Ibori has done in Delta State. And that is because he's a good listener. He attends to people. When you even call him on phone, if he cannot even talk to you, then he will send you an SMS. Those are the kind of things that people will use in loving Sheriff. And I know he has all these qualities. You understand? So my prayers for him, as he has the good heart of Deltans at heart, my prayers for him, he should look at people who surround him. If they are sycophants, of course, they will rubbish his name. But if he's able to get the right people who will give him genuine advice, even when they don't even match his own taste, but provided they are for the interest of the commoners, of course, Sheriff will win. You understand? He will win. We, the Isokos, who are prepared to vote for him, and I'm sure the same thing with the Delta North, where the outgoing governor comes from. So I don't see any reason, by the grace of God, why by next week Saturday, Sheriff will not carry the day. That is my take.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your contribution. So I will have it over to my co-host, Chief Christian Arah. Chief Christian Arah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Sir Rafe Afimari. I appreciate your contribution on this issue. Sir Rafe, let me just throw light on what you just said. It's a great contribution, but let me just throw light. Right Honorable Sheriff is a listener, like our previous governor, Chief James Ibori. Right Honorable Sheriff is accessible, like our previous governor, Ibori. But what Right Honorable Sheriff is going to do more than Ibori's tenure now, when elected, Right Honorable Sheriff will unite all Deltans. That's for sure. That is what Right Honorable Sheriff is going to do. And I know Right Honorable Sheriff is going to make sure we all have a level playing ground in politics, because we all, the old Deltans, accept Right Honorable Sheriff. So let me not talk much about this issue, but what I want to let you take home today is going to develop Delta State more than any governor that has ever been. That's for sure. We are looking Right Honorable Sheriff as the late Abus Ali of Delta State, because I defy the old Bended State. Right Honorable Sheriff is going to do more than late Abus Ali. So what I want you to rest your assured for you, what I want you to do now for me, you to rest assured that Right Honorable Sheriff, let's give him the opportunity to serve. Let's give him the opportunity to serve as the executive governor of Delta State if elected. And I know he's going to unify the old Delta State and going to bring progress to us. So we are all in the same page. God bless Delta State. I will hand over to my co-host for she to take over.
Thank you, Chief Christian Arah. We've heard all speak. Everybody have said one or two things, and for me personally, I'm not Delta. I'm from a totally different country. We're all West Africans, and for me, my own observation, I've been in Delta States quite and for me being a wife, so I'm speaking on a wife in Delta State, what I think that my Right Honorable Sheriff is going to be elected, as the governor of Delta State. Yeah, everybody has how they want to rule. Like Sarah Fiel talk of Saibori, everybody don't rule, you know. I'm gonna break it down. Everybody don't rule, everybody don't come. Everybody gets their own way, their principle, and how they want to rule Delta states. But the main thing is ruling Delta states. It's not about, oh, I want to rule Delta states. How are you going to rule Delta states? Are you a people's person? Are you do you really love your people? Like, right, Sir Raphael, you talk about this man still live in Osubi. This man could be in Lagos, in Banana Island or one of the islands, like just chilling, you know. But this man still is to tell you that this man is a community person. This man loves his people. This man wants to do good for his people. So for me, that is married to someone that is from Delta, so I think that this is what all Deltans should be thinking about. Okay, how should we vote? This man didn't go to Lagos or Abuja or somewhere sitting in the island. No, this man is loud there with every Deltans, everyday, day-to-day people. This man is making sure that Deltans have because most of the time we vote for these people, we put it in office. How can we reach these people? Can we talk to these people? So this is what I want us to think about. Our Ibori has come, he has ruled. This person has called, he has ruled. I want Deltans to give this man an opportunity. This man to able to prove himself that is going to do what we need in Delta. That is what I'm here today to talk about, for us to encourage one another. So I'm gonna go to Sir George. Sir George, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I was just trying to outline the features of Sheriff and what he has told us that he's going to do, and to also substantiate why he'll be able to do it based on his personal characteristics. Sheriff, as we know, is also a man that believes in the principle of equity and fairness. He has approved so many, but 3 institutions for the other parts of Delta states, and he's been criticized by a few persons for not bringing anyone to his place. That's just because of his kind of person. He believes in fairness, equity, and justice. So he believes when he becomes governor, he will do more for his people in terms of giving them higher institution, fully fledged, modern state-of-the-art universities. So he doesn't have to deprive other people because he's speaker. He doesn't have to deprive other people of what the governor wants to do to them. So we know he believes in the principle of equity, fairness, and justice. And that is how he'll be able to develop, when he becomes governor, he'll be able to develop Delta states. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yes. So
yes, I can hear you.
We also know that Sheriff is emotionally intelligent. Since he joined politics, he has never crossed to any other political parties. He has been in PDP since he joined politics for so many years now. So he has the ability to relate with people. He has you can see how he has been able. He's the longest service speaker ever recorded in Delta State House of Assembly since 1999. You can see how he carries everybody along. In fact, his effective appearance on the scene has raised the level of camaraderie among members of the House of Assembly. So it's not just that. Currently, he's also the vice chairman of the Association of Legislatures in Nigeria. So that would tell you that the kind of the ability the man has to carry people along, to establish rapport, and that is what he's using so far. Though he knows he's going to be there, he has started meeting people. He has started communicating with people, trying to make lists on how to see that he attract development, particularly in the areas of direct foreign investment to Delta State. So Sheriff is stable, he's emotionally intelligent, he's not desperate about anything, So, and that is how he's going to be able to relate with all and sundry in Delta State to ensure that the place, Delta State, is developed. We also know that Sheriff is a man who fears God. He fears God. He's a Christian, so that is known to everyone. So, and he's going to bring out those features of Christians to develop Delta State. And there's a point here that I must not run away from. I try to, I don't know how people take it, but we all know that the state capital of Delta State is Asaba, but the commercial capital of Delta State is Warri. Having been born and bred in Warri, he understands everything about that city. People, first time visitors to Warri, when they come, sometimes they nod their head. They say, is it the other city they be hearing about? Is this the other city they be hearing about? We all don't. So, but Sheriff, having been born here, he's going to develop. Yes.
Sir George, can you hear me? I'm one of those people. When I was talking about the last time I was in Warri was 2013.
Yes. Okay.
And from then I don't want to go to Warri, right? And because of, you look at security, you look at development, you look at things that are happening in Warri, you are like, okay, I don't want to go back. You go to Nigeria, you stay in Lagos, and Lagos is not my land. I'm supposed to go to where, my husband's people and go and visit, go to local places, right? But because of security and because of like all those things that are going on in Delta, so a lot of us, like, we're scared, like we don't want to go there, right? So my co-host, go ahead.
Yeah, like you talked about Warri, why we are bringing in Sheriff into government to become the governor of Delta State, because Sheriff is going to take care of the issue of insecurity in Warri and Delta State. You understand the terrain very well. It's from the place, it's from Warri. So you understand the challenge that we face in Warri. But if Sheriff come on board, by the grace of God, Sheriff is going to make sure there is security in Warri. And the development that Sheriff is bringing to Warri, that will going to amaze you if you know the kind of development Sheriff is bringing to Warri. We have a plan for the 3 senatorial districts: Delta North, Delta South, and Delta Central. In Delta North, Sheriff is already communicating with some investors in South Korea. The investors that Sheriff is communicating with, they want to bring a factory. We have the raw materials in Delta State. We have the raw material, and we have the manpower. Those are the 2 major things: the raw material, and we have the factory that we want to set up in Delta State. The factory that Sheriff want to set up in Delta State, I know is communicating with some foreign investors in Korea, and they're going to set up 3 major factories in Delta State: Delta South, Delta Central, and Delta North. And one of the factories will employ at least minimum of 10,000 youth in Delta State. 10,000 youth in Delta State. So if we have 10,000 employed youth in Delta Central, we have 10,000 youth employed in Delta North, we have 10,000 youth employed in Delta South, Central, and North. So that we've taken away 30,000 unemployed youth from the streets. Security, you understand the system. Like most time we are talking about state policing. We can always create our local security in Delta State. And I know Sheriff have those plans. We've done it before in the Warri and the virus, local vigilante. But now with government backing, we're going to improve on the system and we'll get a better result. So let us give Sheriff the opportunity to bring these good things to Delta State. We don't want to go back to the 80s anymore because of selfish interests. Yes. This man has the potential to develop Delta State. So we have to give him the opportunity. My own challenge, I don't know why our principal is not saying all these things to the people of Delta State, what they want to do for Delta State. This is idea. This is what he want to do. He want to bring a lot of massive development to Delta State. So I would like SA to throw more light on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. One of the things he has said he wants to do is to explore alternative power sources. He wants to replicate the model that is giving Asaba, the capital of Delta State, stable power supply right now. It's happening in Asaba that Asaba has one of the most stable power supply because they are applying and using the IPP model. He wants to replicate it in other parts of Delta State.
Wow, our network is really bad. She's going to come back. So
Power sources. He's talking about using hydropower. See, he's so open to a lot of things, and he also has he wants to our lands that we have in abundance in agriculture. We can actually feed a good portion of the south region because agriculture alone, if we produce cassava, Delta State will have a revenue of $20 billion. Imagine what that would do for the state, having $20 billion. And then if we even explore oil palm, this is he has looked at all these things. He has studied Singapore, he has studied Malaysia, he studied India, studied Botswana and Rwanda with his team. They sat down to look at what is working for these people, and he wants to replicate those good things. We already have the resources. And one of the things he has said is he will not underestimate the power of youth. Because no matter the resources we have, if we are not able to tap into the resource of manpower, we will not do much. So he is passionate about tapping into the manpower of the youth we have in Delta State. Reviving the Warri Port is one of his set goals. Having our airports functioning, two airports that we have in Delta State functioning well is one of the things he has. His manifesto is the people's manifesto. We have land. We are focused in Delta State. Yes, Delta State is the oil city. That cannot be taken away from us. But if we have explored other means of income, agriculture, we have a lot that we can get from agriculture. Our report is there. Then by the time we have stable power supply, capitalizing on hydro source of power, which is water, which we have in abundance in Delta State, and also applying the IPP model, there will be jobs because one of the issues, as earlier stated, is the lack of steady power supply. A lot of companies, a lot of young entrepreneurs are giving up because there's no infrastructure to help us. One of the infrastructure that is affecting businesses in Delta State and making people to move to Lagos is because of lack of power, stable power in Delta State, which he has promised to tackle. It is working already. IPP model is working already in Asaba. Replicating this model is just one of the things he wants to do. And yes, having our work running will help us to. We are talking about we need money to develop. We most times we focus on oil. We have a lot. Delta State and we have young people. We have thinkers. He has even the Entertainment Association of Delta State has endorsed him because he wants to also sponsor and support entertainment in Delta State, which is one of the resources that Delta State has in abundance. A lot of the top entertainment people in the entertainment industry are from Delta State, and he recognizes this fact. He recognizes this, and is willing to see how Delta State can push this narrative. So our principal, Honorable Sheriff Oborewole, is the man. Let's vote him because he has thought about every single aspect, everything we've been thinking about. That's why I'm talking so passionately because I've been worried, but now my mind is at rest because I know he is the man of the people. His manifesto, he is the people's manifesto. Thank you.
thank you, SA. Thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. We all have spent a lot of time. We've talked about what Right Honorable Sheriff the plans that he has for Delta. And Sarah Fiel, George, Sir George, and SA, our manager. He was here before, and for some of the other people that were not able to join us because of network issue. So these are all the things that we're talking about. That Africa, we have the raw materials, we have everything that could make Africa that great, and that we don't want to be here, but because of our leaders and because of selfish interests, and because of we've all have had great people that have ruled us, but great is good, but greater is better. We all want something more better, and for our kids and for our future leaders. And so sometimes we think about us now, we don't think about our kids. Maybe someone give me 100,000 naira, I want to just eat it right now and be done with it. But we are not thinking about legacies that we want to leave, and how our kids, if the road is good for them, it's security good for them, how is the school system, if it's good for them. So today we all have talked about Right Honorable Sheriff, we all have talked about different things, what this man is going to do. For me, I know this man is the right person for this job. And for Delta State, we need to trust this man and believe in him. And it's not okay. We know we'll come now. We can't talk say now. Okay, we can't vote for Right Honorable Sheriff. He has not been this person. Right Honorable Sheriff is Right Honorable Sheriff. It cannot be governor, ex-governor Okowa. It cannot be this person. It cannot be this person. He's who he is, and that's the unique thing about him. And that's why we as Deltans, we should go out and vote for this man. No matter what, don't sell your birthright. Like my place will say, not sell your birthright for Cocoa. Not say you no go vote for this person when na him get your grandchildren interest at heart. When na him want to change Delta states, because I'm longing to come to Delta states, but is the security, is it there? Are we safe to come to Delta states? Yes, American embassy can intervene and say, okay, my citizen, but that's not all it's all about. It's all about us come together as a one Delta. And we said, you know what, this is what we want to do. Let's put aside, I am supporting this person, but who is going to do this job that all of us, economy is very good, employment is very good. We're all not happy. You look at that is Bini road, all these roads, right? People are in these roads every day. People are dying. People are being kidnapped. People are like, it's so many things that are going on. So let's put all those things aside and think about the right person that is going to do the job. That is why we were here today. So Sarah Fiel. Sarah, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay, you can go ahead. We have 1 more minute for you to say your final message for all people in Delta State, and what should they be expecting, and for you to give your words of encouragement for them to go out and vote.
From what we have discussed so far, I know that Sheriff is going to be the governor of this state come 18th of this month. And what are we really talking about? We're talking of somebody who has knowledge about this. This Sheriff is not just somebody who came into the scene now. Like somebody like S.A. said, or somebody, he has been speaker in the Delta State House of Assembly for this past 8 years. That tells you that the man has knowledge about what is happening in Delta State here. Now, for me, like I've always told people, you don't just handpick people and say, go and do this when the person does not even have the knowledge about what he's going to do. Sheriff, as far as I'm concerned, if given the opportunity, he will take Delta to a greater height. And let me add this before I will leave. I will also encourage those who are close to him. By the time he gets into office,
Thank you, Sir Raphael. We're having technical issues, so I'm gonna go ahead to Sir George for you to say your final message and what would you want to encourage people of Delta States. Sir George, can you unmute yourself, sir? Unmute yourself. Sir
Can you hear
George?
me, Rita?
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay. I said we all know that Right Honorable Sheriff strongly believes in the principle of fairness and equity. So he's going to ensure even development across Delta State, whether Delta North, Delta South, or Delta Central. But having said that, Delta should realize that the emergence of Sheriff, even just as a candidate, is a prayer and is our prayer that God has answered, and we should work hard to ensure to actualize this prayer that has been answered by God. It's going to change the story of Warri, and we all know whether we like it or not. Warri is the commercial capital of Delta State. So when Warri is developed, when Warri is industrialized, progress and prosperity will flow naturally to all parts of Delta State, whether the North or Delta South. So this is the man we have been praying for. This has been our yearning. We want the growth of Warri. We want the development of Warri and other parts of this state. So as Asaba being the state capital is developing naturally because he's going to live there as governor. He'll be developing it naturally. Why Warri, Uwie, Udu, and Okpe, which are his primary constituencies, will also witness massive development. And when this happens, the narrative of Delta State will change for the better of all. So Sheriff is the right person. We don't want any fringe development that will be taken to corner, to the sides, the fringes of Delta State that people will not really enjoy or see, because some of things are happening outside Warri, they are not seen by the people. But we want the central development, just like what is happening in Lagos today. Now that Lagos is developed, the prosperity and progress development is now flowing to Ogun State. So that is what is going to happen to Delta State. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sir George. Thank you so much. Essay, are you there? Okay, so we gonna have my co-host, right, Chief Christian Arah, for you to say your final message to all people of Delta State.
I just want to thank everybody for this program, Table Talk today. And I want all Deltans on the 18th of March to go out there and vote for Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori. He's the man that will turn Delta State around. Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much, my co-speakers. Thank you very much for coming to this great, wonderful program.
All right. I just want to use this time to thank each and every one of you, my co-hosts. I, Chief Christian Arah. I want to thank you for being here today, and I want to thank Sir Raphael. Sir Raphael, I want to thank you, sir, for coming out today and being part of this panel. Yeah, I want to thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. And I want to thank Sir George as well for being
Thank you so much.
Talk about. You're very welcome. And manager, I want to thank you as well for being here today. He was here earlier on, but for some reason lost him. And I want to thank Essay for being here today. For great contribution. I want to thank you as well. And for all of the other people that cannot make it through technical issues and all that, I just want to thank you guys. I really, really appreciate. For my message to all people in Delta State, I just want us to use this time. There is a reason why this election has been postponed till next week, for us to think about it and for us to give Right Honorable Sheriff the opportunity. Like judges say that we all have been praying for one thing. We all have been praying for a change for Delta State. And this is that change. Right Honorable Sheriff. He can make that change and he's going to do it. But all we need is for us to give him our vote, give him that opportunity for him to be able to prove himself. But if we don't give him that opportunity, how is he going to do that? So we need your votes. We need you to think about it and say, this is what I want to do for Delta State. Don't do it because of, oh, I've known this person. This man have been doing grassroots politics for so long. He's been a speaker of the house for so long. So guess what? This is his time, and we've been praying for this. And George have talked about it, Ese, and Sarah Field have talked about it. So this is the time that all Deltas, we should think about it and go next Saturday and cast your vote. Till then, I just want to say thank you from my back end in Sierra Leone. I want to thank you guys for always hooking us up and for always being there on time. I want to thank you guys, PROIB blog, Bantu blog, and I want to thank Daughters of Sierra Leone and myself, Rita Felleh Arah, and my co-host, High Chief Christian Arah, and I want to thank Sarah Fiel for joining us, and Sir Judge, and James Manager that is joining us as well, and Essay that was joining us as well. And I want to thank my back team for always making sure we have a great program every Sunday. Alex Theo, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Mama Do. I want to thank Christian Arah. I want to thank Christopher Arah, and for the entire Arah family. I just want to thank you. I could not do this without you guys' support and time. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Joel Okute, I want to thank you. I want to thank Mr. Joel for being here today with us on the back end. So thank you guys. I love you guys. Till we meet again. This is Table Talk with Rita Felleh Arah. Thank you and God bless you guys all. Bye. Bye.